Welcome to Monday, day 2. I woke up here on Ge-be-on-e-quet Lake. Great morning. It's a little southwest breeze, sunny, clear, very wet, just as predicted. Absolutely soaking wet. But had a really good night's sleep. Not too many mosquitoes in the tent, and I'm ready for breakfast. It's 8:45 in the morning. A little later start than I wanted, but kind of usually the case, right? Got a pretty dang nice day so far. Sun is out. It's quite pretty. Wind is there, but in camp it'll be nice if it stayed like that to keep the bugs away. I'm right here by this little beach area at the outlet of Ge-be-on-e-quet. Doesn't show up as good here in the morning sun as it does in the noon sun. But my plan today, I'm gonna camped there last night, is to go up right about here right now. I'm gonna go up the rivers, a few portages, go up the Oyster River into Oyster Lake here, and then for sure when I get to Oyster Lake, I'd love to get to Ge-be-on-e-quet today. We will see. Fairly tough portage landing here. Just a boulder field. This is the first portage then on the Moose River north of Ge-be-on-e-quet Lake. Pretty spot. I can hear some rapids running. Yeah, pretty good boulder field. Can't get anywhere close. The bottom is quite muddy, but not too bad overall. Just got to get up there. This whole first portage along the Moose River is quite beautiful. A lot of rapids. I think the first time I've ever seen it. The bear swept all the rocks are up in there. It must have been quite a torrent this spring when it was very high water. But nice portage as far as portages go. That first landing wasn't great there. It'd be nice if all the portage landings could be like this, right? Hop, get up close, hop out, walk right to shore. Lots of room here, no big rocks. Wonderful. This portage apparently goes around a little set of rapids right there. Now right here somewhere is the intersection, the switch between going to into Agnes Lake or up the Oyster River. And I know that notch to the right for sure is the one that goes to Agnes. So I must be up close to shore here somewhere, I hope. I don't actually remember from Nibby-Mock's video. What it looked like. I know he showed it, but we'll just have to figure it out. Wild rice is so thick, holy cow. Well, there, that for sure, right there, goes to Agnes. It's a pretty big valley there and a big hill right up there. Huh, I wonder if I missed my turn already. Well, let's go see if we can find it. This unassuming little notch here, I hope is it. I went back farther and I've explored around. I haven't been able to find it. There's not a blade of broken grass anywhere along here. This is current. There's current flowing here a little bit. And we need to go way in that valley in the right to find the actual creek. So we'll see. Little beaver pile. Boy, this is going to be tough going. Right, there's a person got out right there, or something got out. Easier just to go through. Ooh, I am stuck. That's not good. Never get stuck. Back up. Because you float it in, you should be able to float out. I'm not going to try this for too long. And I've got a skinny canoe and I barely draft any water at all. So. Holy cow. There's a 160 rod portage from Agnes into the Oyster River. Yeah, I'm stuck again. Well, I've struggled with it for about a half hour. This is the biggest spot I've found right here. That's hard work. You gotta turn every one of these corners, you gotta jockey back and forth, and I probably only made it 100 yards, if that. I hear water running up here, and that clump of land I know I can see on the map, but that's a long way away yet. So I found this spot. Oh, there's a lot of beaver debris here. Got this all plugged up. So this is either not it, or there's flowing water though. It's flowing downstream that way toward the Moose River, so it's got to be it. But yeah, I think I might just give up on this one and start heading back toward Agnes, I guess. Agnes Lake, new one for me. Cross this one off the list. Just kind of hoping to stay here sometime. Actually a really nice lake. A lot of boulders on the shoreline, kind of different. Look all around, it's just kind of piles and piles of rocks. I haven't seen anybody here yet, knock on wood. These campsites all appear to be empty, but yeah, I wasted a lot of time trying to get up the Oyster River there. I'm gonna be, I could have been across that portage by now, I think, through here. Oh well, it was an adventure. Talk about being in the middle of nowhere all by yourself. That's middle of that swamp. I don't know if they'd ever find you. Yeah, this is quite the portage landing. Beautiful sand. Man, I just love these portage landings like this. What a nice day. Just absolutely perfect. Light breeze, and about 70-ish. The trip note, yeah, this one's hard to find actually, this jack pine here. Shades is pretty good, and in this time of day anyway with the shade, it's just this one little notch here in the sandy beach. Really hard to actually see from a distance at all. Finally on the Oyster River. That portage is fairly long but not too hard. It's steep at both ends, but really well used. This the Oyster River end, of course, is a big mud hole and an old submerged log dock thing that you gotta, actually makes it harder to get through actually, but here I am. Looks like I ran out of luck on the beaver dams. This one, well, I'm going against the current for one, and just a little bit too tall, I think, to paddle over. Gonna have to get out somewhere here. One of those brutal portage landings here. I see. There's a spot right over here that I can see the bottom though. The side. See if we can get parallel. The current's just kind of sucking the canoe a little too, so I just had somebody here to hold it. This portage landing on the oyster end of this, between the Oyster River and the lake, is absolutely amazing. It's a big grove of pines. It's just like a park over there up on the trail a little ways. It's a lot of use. I kind of wonder if people don't camp here a little bit. The bad news is the wind is coming right in here. Not super strong, less than 10 I'd say, right about that, 10 maybe. But it's just nothing but a boulder field way out there as far as you can see, and it's over waist deep, maybe neck deep out there. And there's absolutely nowhere to land a canoe solo very well. So luckily I was in the surf here where a couple of these little broken log ends banging here in the surf, and I drug them out and I set them on the rocks, so I had a place to set my canoe down. Now the trick is going to be to somehow get some gear in it, a little, you know, much as I can. I can't really put my big pack back here because it'll be too heavy, but I think I maybe put the small pack up there, slide it into the lake some, then get the big pack in. I'll still be on those logs, and then I should be able to slide my feet down into those rocks and get a hold of the canoe and get it out there a little bit, enough so that I can get in it. That's the strategy. I stopped, got a absolutely beautiful campsite. Just an absolute beauty. However, it's not on Ge-be-on-e-quet, which was my goal today. It's on Oyster. It's on the north end, second from the last one to the portage to Rocky. I was going to go to Rocky Lake and see if that one was empty, because so far Oyster is completely empty. I didn't even see anybody on Agnes. Nobody on the water, nobody in any sites, but this is beautiful. This big long ridge that runs this way out in the lake here. You know, I don't know, not a mile, but maybe. Big hills on it and covered in just pines, just big pines. You can just see through it, like right here, over the whole thing, and you can see that people have been walking. And I come around the corner here, just been looking. I was kind of planning to go to Green or rocky, and there was a guy standing right here. And so I just went by quietly, and he said hi to me, nice guy, and he said, hey, if you're looking for a site, I'm not staying here, I'm just checking it out. He is camped down at the last one. I was going to go down and peek at that one actually, because it's on little narrows. Anyhow, it was so nice, and I'm so tired. I think I'm getting old. And the portage to Rocky's right down there. The portage to Hustler's right over there. Got a perfect breeze coming in. And like I said, I'm on this little peninsula, pines all over. He said, oh yeah, well, there's a lot of blueberries back there too. So, man, I need something to put on my cheesecake, I guess. Although I brought strawberry jam with me. I'll do a little better site tour later. For lunch, I made make little kits. This one has a barbecue chicken pouch in it and a tortilla, all in a little bag, so I can put that in my day bag and take it with me and make myself a sandwich on the go. About 2 o'clock now. Just got here to this site. I think I'm gonna cook it and eat it. Or actually, take that back. I'm not gonna cook it. I'm just gonna make it cold and eat it. Nice grove of cedars back here. Exploring back here a little bit, I found another landing spot, which I might just use. Sandy. You gotta kind of squeeze between these two rocks, but other than that, looks pretty clear. Looks nice. But I'm gonna take a little walk up on this big ridge up here and look for the blueberries that guy had mentioned that was walking around this peninsula. Oh yeah, my hip. When I was trying to get through the Oyster River, I really got balled up into those clumps, those sharp turns, and I just really couldn't hardly move anymore. So I finally, right after I gave up, I decided I need to go back, and I could not get turned around. I tried everything, so I managed to get myself turned around in the canoe. So I was on my knees, facing backwards in the canoe, paddling, and anyway, in the process of turning around, which is very strange, you know, rotating like that, you're not used to it, it's not instinctive, and I kind of twisted my hip there a little bit because I was trying to very carefully, you know, and balance the canoe just right. Just shot of burning pain for a second there. Well, it's hurt me pretty good now that I rested all. I guess we need to climb this ridge. I can see all the Norways up there, and they go all the way out to the point, and that's where we're headed. When I go on a day hike like this, not really a day hike, but just a little walk around trying to explore a little bit, I wear safety glasses in the woods. Way too many horror stories I've read about guys who get out here and scratch their cornea and how unbelievably painful and debilitating that is. So I'm going to take their word for it and try to do that also. This is pretty steep. Feel my leg pretty good. We'll get there though. Beautiful moss. There's a bunch of blowdown right here which is slowing me down. I also have my manly waist satchel with my inReach and a few survival things in there that I carry with me at all times. Oh yeah, it's a pretty good trail right here. Did I ever tell you about the time I stepped on a bee's nest while walking in the woods like this? Or that one other time, or that one other time? Well, this is every bit as beautiful as I imagined it would be. Just love bushwhacking at these places like this. Unfortunately, probably be a lot easier, but unfortunately, along the shoreline here and quite a few other places along there, some of these trees have uprooted and blown or fell over. So down low, I don't see it. Could be wind, especially toward the lake. So the only thing I can think of is when the water was so high, it undermined them. But a whole clump of them. So you got to go down that hill and back up the ridge and down the ridge and back up the ridge. But it works. Wow. Can you believe this day? Now here's something interesting. Look at this burn tree. Big burn snag. It's been there quite a long time, I would guess. Once they get that hot, caramelizes all the sugars in them, and it really doesn't rot very well after that. But apparently there was a bit of a fire here. Probably been quite a few fires. Look at this. Wow, it just keeps going and going. Oh, look at this spot. It's amazing. There's these big old Norways. They're really old. You can tell by how smooth the bark is. Big flakes, and then they start to curve at the top. They like to do that when they're really old. But what's neat is there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them all right next to each other here. They're all about, these two are about 5 feet apart, and that one's maybe 6 feet from them. So these trees grew up together, I assume. All started at the same time and all grew up together and competed for sunlight and all grew up tall. There's just so many of them in here. Well, I'm back. Only one bee sting. That thing, ooh, that thing hurts. Jeez. Doesn't hurt like a bald-faced hornet, just a yellow jacket. But yeah, somehow, I didn't even know I stepped on a nest or something somewhere along the way. Got long pants on, which is another good idea in the woods, but sucker crawled up in my pant leg, and somewhere along the way I was just walking and I felt something crawling, and instinctively, you know, I swatted it on my leg, just smacked my leg, and the next thing you know, it's like, holy cow, that hurt. So I dropped my pants quick, and sure enough, it was a yellow jacket, so that's kind of a bummer. I'm just kicking back, making some dinner. I decided to make some biscuits and gravy. I'd thrown it in there as an extra breakfast meal just in case, and sounded good. I decided to eat it. It's not real big. Sounds good. I'm gonna have some cheesecake later, so gotta save a little bit of room. Here's something I've been looking forward to all day, actually. I'm gonna make some cheesecake tonight for dessert. I brought 2 of these with me. Anyway, what this is a Jello cheesecake kit. In here, first ingredient here is the pudding or mixed powder stuff that they have in there. And I write right on the bag, need 3/4 cups of water. This is 1/4 of the box for this particular brand. Required 3/4 cup of milk, so instead of putting 3/4 cup of water, and in here I have 3 tablespoons of powdered milk, which is what on the box of that stuff makes 3/4 cup of milk. So and it's already, both ingredients are in there, ready to go. Also in here is some raspberry jam, which I just put in a baggie and I'll squeeze out in there. And again, 1/4 of the topping, which would be the crust mix. Just put that in here. I'm going to sprinkle that on top once it's done. We don't actually make the crust. And that's it. It's just that simple. The secret ingredient today is going to be a few blueberries too.